DJ Akademiks just violated the whole producer community by telling producers to shut the f up and make some drums. That's not exactly what went down, but that's how a lot of producers are interpreting it, and that's how a lot of media outlets are reporting it. There's so much stuff involved in this conflict. And funny enough, it started over a conversation about sample clearance. I'm telling you, man, sample clearance is crazy. All right, let's see what Akademiks actually said.
Nobody wants a talkative producer. A talkative producer, nigga, you better make slaps, nigga. You better be so hot you could talk shit, because producers, y'all not supposed to have no personality and no opinion. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? You know how many producers hit me behind the scene talking shit about people? And I said, come on stream. They would never. You know why? They're not the artists. They live off placements, so they can't really pop their shit unless you get to that point. Southside at times could pop his shit.
Wait, so he said producers shouldn't have an opinion, but he invites them on his stream so they can express their opinion. And then he also said Southside can have an opinion and some other producers can have an opinion. Okay, so it's not making sense already. I have very limited interactions with Akademiks. I don't want to act like I'm coming in here already with opinions formed in my head. Way back in 2018, I reached out because I tried to connect Akademiks with some other producers who had made headlines because an interview that I gave. It was actually Edan. Shout out to Edan. Akademiks posted this 6 years ago. This was a whole thing about a statement that Edan made about certain record labels, specifically Atlantic Records, being accused of, this was the Billboard headline. Billboard even reported on it. Atlantic Records accused of underpaying producers by retitling albums as mixtapes, and they referenced this interview with me, DJ Payne 1. And so Akademiks reported on it. He was advocating for producers, possibly back when he had a Complex show with Joe Budden. I don't remember if that's exactly what went down, but I expressed that I appreciated him even talking about producers. I tried to connect him with Edan for an actual real conversation about this article that he made a video of. Never heard back from him. Whatever. Now let's get into what happened. I'm going to try to summarize it. I did the research and combed through all this dumbass shit, so you didn't have to. Super producer ATL Jacob, shout out ATL Jacob. We did a record together, me, Dream Life, Baby Drill, and Hendrix. He sat down with Akademiks, and this was an incredibly amicable conversation that they had. I don't know how everything went so wrong. And in this clip, they spoke about Future's record featuring Tems and Drake and clearing that Tems part because that was a sample.
So he's like, what's sampling that? I was like, oh, it's Tems, but it's from a YouTube video. It's good. I knew we had to clear it, but I didn't think it was like gonna be, it's bad.
That shit fire. That nigga was chatting on that record, man. That nigga say, yo, get mad at yourself because you can't leave me alone.
So everything was good in this conversation. So then according to Akademiks, ATL Jacob intimated to him when the cameras stopped recording that Tems actually didn't initially want to clear the sample when it was just a Future record, but once Drake got on it, Drake actually facilitated the sample clearance with Tems by calling her directly. Somehow that led to DJ Akademiks accusing ATL Jacob of being gossipy. This person said, you lied on Tems.
Drake had to call Tems and be like, hey man,
yeah, like
don't clear this.
But y'all won a Grammy though.
That's big.
Yeah.
So that's big to that.
Yeah,
That's big. Did you ever talk to Tems and said, I'm glad you cleared the record?
I talked to her at the Grammys. I felt like she was personally, I felt like she was a little irritated with the Wait For You song.
Evidently, there was an ATL Jacob and Tems Twitter exchange as reported by a couple websites, including Hot New Hip Hop. Tems and her manager are disputing ATL Jacob's story that they would not clear the sample initially and that Drake needed to clear the sample. So I guess that's how that devolved into an Akademiks beef, because this is something Akademiks reported on already. But this is the accusation. Akademiks is calling ATL Jacob a gossip girl.
Tems didn't clear the sample for Future, but Drake got involved and blessed it. How did I know that? ATL Jacob, the gossiping bitch that he is, was in my studio, moist as a motherfucker, sounded like he was Selena Powell's Superhead. The nigga had 2 shots of Tito's. He told me that motherfucking Gunna finna die. He told me Rick Ross.
Apparently ATL Jacob doesn't drink alcohol. I don't know.
Live in the hood, baby not like that. Future trying to hold him on some points and basically told me that they don't fuck with Drake, but they had to put Drake on the song.
Akademiks reported on the sample clearance problems and that Drake had to intervene in order to get Tems to move forward on clearing the sample for the Future record. And Akademiks is saying, well, I got that information way back then from ATL Jacob telling me that story off the record. Okay, even if that's the case, I still still don't see what the problem is. And then somehow it's degraded to this. A little harsh. What's kind of dope is that no one would care about producer beef 20 years ago. Nowadays, people do care about producers. So that kind of conflicts with Akademiks' assertion that producers shouldn't have opinions or personalities. Because look, this situation will pass, but right now people are really speaking on it because people actually do want to hear an opinion from a producer, right? I mean, I'm a producer and a DJ, and here I am giving an opinion. I make beats for a living. I don't really make shit off YouTube, but Akademiks does. And DJ Akademiks, he's more known for talking in YouTube videos than he's known for being a DJ. So could we turn the tables and say DJs aren't supposed to have no personality or opinion? So Akademiks shut up and spin that record? Well, no, I would never say that because I'm a DJ myself, and that's asinine. I think Akademiks is just doing what Akademiks does and being disrespectful because that's his thing now. I want to go back to that first video. Here's the part where Akademiks contradicts himself and says producers shouldn't have an opinion unless they make slaps, then they can have an opinion.
Nigga, you better make slaps, nigga. You better be so hot you could talk shit, because producers, y'all not supposed to have no personality and no opinion. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? You know how many producers hit me behind the scene talking shit about people, and I said, come on stream. They would never. You know why? They're not the artists. They live off placement.
I mean, no one cares about me, but I would love to go on a big stream and air some things out.
Southside at times could pop as shit.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. ATL Jacob is an incredibly accomplished producer. Is he not making slaps? Was Super Gremlin not like the beat of the year for a whole damn year? And is it not still a great beat? People were losing their mind when the Future and Drake and Tems record came out. Akademiks was in that video praising that record. Now, granted, if we're using Metro Boomin as a metrics, he's a superstar as a producer, which is amazing because he doesn't even rap. It's not as though ATL Jacob is struggling. Not only has he produced classics, but he released a solo record, the single here. It's at 900 million streams. A song that has 150 million on-demand streams is equivalent to 1 million downloads and is considered a platinum single. So that is a hit song. If I was beefing with Akademiks and he said, well, you know, you're not in a position to really have a personality that, or have an opinion that anyone cares about. But ATL Jacob, I mean, Akademiks had him on his platform for a reason. So it seems like this is just more pettiness and contradictions, right? I don't know. I just respect the producer community too much. I don't like seeing stuff like this happen. Someone attacks us is kind of, I'm not going on the attack on Akademiks, but damn, we can't have an opinion. All right, for what is worth, producers, I love you, and here's what I'll do. If you get any sample kit or drum pack from my site, just send me a message on Instagram, Twitter, email, text, whatever. I'll give you a free pack of your choice. So buy one, get one free. This isn't a deal that I'm giving to the public. It's not like an automatic deal. Just reach out to me. I'll give it to you. Just say you saw me speak on it in a YouTube video. I'll know what you're talking about. Now, Akademiks clarified and said he didn't mean to disrespect the entire producer community in this clip here.
He told me, he said, yo, a lot of producers mad at you, Ak. They feel like you calling out the whole producer community. And I'm not calling out every producer.
Kinda.
I'm saying that as a producer at times, you know the game, and because you know the drama that comes with it, and you know that I don't care what no producer says, I do think producers are undervalued, but producers rely on the artist still. How many producers have we seen come and go?
Wait, how many rappers have we seen come and go? How many commentators and personalities have we seen come and go?
Everybody want to act like they Metro Boomin, they Southside, they TM88, they like, not everybody's like that.
Well, no, but again, I think ATL Jacob is like that. Or am I out of my mind? But I think there's a part of this that just doesn't make sense, and it's making me question Akademiks' entire premise for a beef with ATL Jacob. This is the part I don't understand.
I've also said about ATL Jacob, like, you know, I believe you on what you're saying, because I've kind of heard the same thing too.
That's him referring to the sample clearance being handled by Drake, how Tems initially didn't want to clear the sample, but Drake got involved and she cleared the sample. So what Akademiks is saying is other people have told him the same thing, and therefore he believes what ATL Jacob is saying. Interesting, right? Because in that other video, he was talking about ATL Jacob was his source, and now he's saying he has multiple sources on this topic.
So apparently she tells Future no, or Future's labeled no. Then Drake asks her, and Drake gets the, oh, yeah, makes sense. It's Aubrey, my nigga. It's Stimmy. You get what I'm saying? Now, granted, like, I've also said about ATL Jacob, like, I believe you on what you're saying, because I've kind of heard the same thing too.
This is the part of my video where I get the splitting migraine, because this shit is not adding up. No one wants a talkative producer, yet you're treating him as a source for a story about Future and Tems sample clearance situation. So you want a talkative producer because you got information from a so-called talkative producer. Number two, you have other sources. Other people are telling you that this is what happened, yet you're blaming ATL Jacob for this and somehow using that as grounds for beefing with him. And then three, somehow you turn that into no one wanting a talkative producer, which has nothing. I'm sitting here like, the fuck did I do? Maybe if Akademiks said, all right, producers, stop being so scared to tell the stories about what's going on in the industry. Because remember, Akademiks also said producers are undervalued. I have no reason to believe that he's lying when he says that he believes producers are undervalued, right? So then why use your platform to tell producers to keep our mouths shut? It's just, none of this is adding up. I think the whole reason why the producer community is at a point where it is because producers have visibility, and that comes from not just producers, utilizing social media and marketing themselves the way recording artists do, but also because they're sharing their opinions all the time. The top producers of YouTube, top producers in the industry, they have platforms to share their opinions. People like Akademiks report on those opinions. Now, as far as producers relying on artists and therefore being afraid to speak on certain things, look, absolutely. However, if we go back to that original article that's entirely based on an interview I did with Eden, these producers, look, Sunny Digital, London on the Track, DJ Mustard, they're all sharing their opinions. In Akademiks' own video, he's sharing tweets from DJ Burn One. Shout out DJ Burn One. He is sharing opinions from producers who are talking about artists and record labels. None of this is adding up. So producers, if we're going to be upset at anyone, we just need to be upset at the way media works nowadays. People just report on hot takes. They don't even make sense. What Akademiks is saying doesn't even make sense. It doesn't add up. It's all contradiction. All right, but that's just how things work. And it's a problem when we're talking about things that are even more serious than music. Obviously, I take music seriously. That's my love and that's my livelihood. But when you talk about politics, when you talk about the more mainstream media that's journalistic, that has credibility, they're doing the same thing. It's hot takes, hot takes. It's not fact checking. It's not sitting on a story and doing research. It's just vomiting as much information as you can at the speed of light, because that's the nature of the internet. People want information now, and especially if you have a platform like an Akademiks, you can go live at any point you want and just speak your mind, even if the thought isn't fully formed. That's a major problem. I don't think producers are going to shut up because Akademiks told us to. I think all this stuff is going to blow over. We're going to move on to the next beef. But that being said, my tea is almost done. I'm going to take one last sip. Cheers to you. Appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Stay well. Don't keep your mouth shut. If you got an opinion, producers, speak on it. The more of us that do that, the stronger the community is. We can share with each other. We can build each other up. We can educate each other. They can learn from our mistakes. We can speak on the hardships we went through so the next generation of producers don't have to repeat our mistakes. Peace.